Hi everyone, it's Sarah here from Spiritual Events and Directory. I'm just about to have a chat to Barb from Barb's Psychic Readings. Barb is a naturally gifted psychic who has been providing readings for several years using oracle cards and directly channeling readings. Barb lives on the Gold Coast in Australia, however, has a keen international following. Barb has been assisting people through readings to select a pathway that is best for their family members and themselves. Hi, Barb. How are you going? Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Oh, thank you. It's been a great pleasure to join you.
Thank you. So, Barb, can you just tell us a little bit about what you do?
Look, I'm a psychic and a medium, and I provide readings for people or connections through to loved ones that have passed over, or help people to explore some of the things that they might want to know about their future or what's coming up for them or their family.
Awesome. So, how long have you known that you were psychic?
Well, this is an interesting question because years ago, I would have said just as long as I had been practicing. However, I actually sat there and thought about it one day, and it's actually been all my life.
Yeah.
Quite often, like everyone else, got the premonitions, had the deja vu, and all that. So, if you really ask me now, such as what you're doing, I have to say, actually, all my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you
Yeah.
started out, was there any specific person that helped you to develop? Do you have a mentor or?
Look, look, I really enjoy reading and following information, I suppose, around Doris Stokes and Edgar Casey.
Yeah.
And I remember one night or one day going to a bookshop, a secondhand bookshop, and asking if he had any books on Edgar Case, I called him at that time. And the gentleman pulled me up and goes, "Sir Edgar Casey to you." And it was quite funny. But anyway, he didn't have any of those books, but he introduced me to Doris Stokes. And there's a
Okay.
little story about that. I picked up 4 secondhand books and I didn't read them for a little while. And then one night I decided to read them and I wasn't sure which one. So I put them on the bed and I just sort of put my hands over them, picked up one, I undid it, and the date was written in at the 13th of August. And it happened to be the 13th of August when I started reading it.
Wow.
So, yeah. And just little coincidences, like when I started reading it, Doris Stokes had donated some equipment to a disability service called Shepherd. I used to manage a disability service called Shepherd.
Wow.
Just all those connections. So, yeah, so I have a strong connection around her work. Yeah.
Great. And so I hear that you had an interesting time when you visited Tasmania in 2013. What were your experiences there?
Well, you know how when you visit a place with a lot of historical opportunities? My husband and I joined up for the ghost tour in Launceston, and possibly lots of people have been there, but we were walking around, and while the presenter was telling us lots of things about the stories, I could really see the people in my mind and everything like that, and could really see them. I kept thinking, no, it's in my mind, and then she'd say something else and I could really see it. Anyway, we walked into this big stable, and I thought, I've got to say something here because all these visions just seemed so real and so there. And I said, look, is there something hanging? Because the stable was pitch black dark, really big, and it was at night time. I said, is there something hanging on one of those beams? Because I can just see a gentleman with a white long shirt, long black pants and black boots and a beard just hanging. And she said, oh, have you been here before? I said, no, never. She said, oh, come with me. And she left everyone else right there at the spot. And that was my husband and about 5 or 6 other women. And she took me right down the back. And she said, push this switch. And I pushed this switch. Well, back where I saw the beam coming straight down was this big dummy with a white shirt, black pants, black polished boots, and a beard just hanging there. And all the women just screamed and ran out of
Yeah.
the building. My poor husband was left standing there. But it was really quite interesting because it was one taken off a bit of a historical event where someone actually did hang themselves there, but they often did it for Halloween where they actually dropped it. So, and I wasn't even aware of that. So
Wow.
it was, yeah, it really confirmed everything else that I had been seeing that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. And so,
Yeah.
Barb, what type of readings do you provide?
Look, I do various readings. I use angel oracle cards. I do email readings. I do the psychometry. I do parties if people are interested in having a little group party. I do phone readings, all those sorts, including, at the big events,
Yeah. Yeah.
such as this weekend, down on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, yeah, we'll be there for sure. So what's psychometry? Can you just tell us a little bit about that? Just for people that may not know, because people know reading
Yeah.
or yeah. So what exactly is that?
Like psychometry's reading jewelry. So someone will give you a piece of their jewelry, and you'll hold it. You'll get all the vibrations from it, all the senses. You might just run around with your hands. You'll feel like that there's maybe a little lump on it or something, or you'll notice how many diamonds are in it, and you just read from that.
Okay.
Last night I actually did a party, and so I was reading the jewelry from that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And so as a medium, do you only connect with human spirit?
No, look, I've experienced, especially a lot lately, the four-legged kind, animals and things like that. I did a reading the other night for someone who came through, who wanted a loved one to come through, so she said. And first off, I said, look, I'm seeing like a young female, and I'm seeing like it's your daughter or something, but I'm also, feeling like I can't breathe. And she said, no, and no. And then all of a sudden I saw this little dog run past, and I said, oh, but I'm also seeing a dog. And she goes, that's who I was after. And she said, there's my little girl. I said, oh, so, if you think back what I just said, there was a young girl there, like your little girl. And she said, oh, yeah. And it ended up that, unfortunately, this poor dog passed away from a big lump on the side of its neck where it actually couldn't breathe very much
Yeah.
towards the end. So, yeah, and that's what this particular person who came to me for a reading really wanted to connect in with her lovely, pet.
Oh,
So
that's
it was lovely to be able to make that connection.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
And do you have a message that you would like to provide to our viewers?
Well, the one thing that I really find interesting, and I use it all the time, and I often, when I'm talking to people, try to pass this message on. It's about that law of attraction, putting it out there, asking you guides and angels to help you with things in life. And if that's one thing that you can take away from this, or that you can share with other people, that would really help them. That you don't have to ask specifically, you don't have to ask so pedantically. Ask, when you're driving along in the car, having a shower, having a cuppa.
Yeah,
Just put it out there quite broadly about, help me to be prosperous, help my family to be well connected, help me to communicate and have better opportunities.
yeah,
And watch how those things happen for you, and just tick them all off and say thank you when you get them. If you can take that philosophy away, your life will just change.
yeah. I
Yeah.
totally agree. Yeah. And
It's great.
what was that? Sorry.
I said it's a really great way of life, isn't it? Much easier.
Oh, it is. It is. It's amazing. It totally is. And I understand that you studied your craft in the UK. Where did you study?
Look, I had this fabulous opportunity, and it came about accidentally, where I went into a news agency one day, and I happened to open a book while I was just waiting around for my husband, who was in the shop next door. And when I opened this new age book, it flipped open and it showed me the Arthur Finlay College. And it happened to be a competition in the book. Unfortunately, I didn't win it because you had to be a UK resident. But that got me thinking, and I inquired about it. And so I went over there for a couple of weeks, and you live in there, and it's reasonably priced. It's about £550 per week. And that's your accommodation, your classes from 9 till 9 every day. And there's only
Wow.
about 60 students there at any time. Your little class of 12. It's just full on, and it's in a big building, like a Harry Potter style building. It's fantastic. It's a great historical opportunity. Arthur Finlay was one of the ones that I believe had strong connections in setting up the Spiritualist Union in the UK.
Yeah.
So all his library of spiritual books are there, and just everything. If you ever get a chance, take the trip over, and it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, no, that sounds really cool. I know that a lot of people do go over there. So, yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell me more about the Planchette? And I may not have pronounced that right. I understand it's an
Yeah.
automatic rider. Did I pronounce
Look,
that?
following on from Arthur Finlay College, when I was over there, one of the days that we were there, we actually had the opportunity to use the Planchette.
Yeah.
It's a little wooden tool with a couple of little casters on the bottom. You screw a little pencil in and tighten it up. It's about like a little shape of a heart,
Okay.
and you just rest your hand on it. And I do workshops at times where people go into a meditation, and I guide them through, and we keep it all nice and safe and protected. And it's amazing what can come out. People, when they can practice enough and have enough use of it and trust enough, actually get words, or even from just the vibrations that you put down on the paper is enough for someone to read and actually bring out messages from it. The first time I did it, it looked like all circles, but then when I spun it round, I could actually see writing and words and a little picture of a house. And yeah, it's quite unique. And it's something that's a very old craft, and it's from the UK where it started. We actually have them available here if ever anyone's interested, and we sell them from our website.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. I was going to ask
Yeah.
you to do that, so that's cool. Thank you. And so how can people, if somebody wants a reading with you, how can they find you?
Look, they can find me through websites of Barb's Psychic Readings. There's a link there to my Facebook page, or if they on Facebook, have a look for Barb's Psychic Readings. I'm based here on the Gold Coast. As I said, I do face-to-face readings. I do readings at shows, email readings, Skype readings, be able to set up similar to this. They're great opportunities for people if they're ever, especially down here on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. And you're going to be at the Health, Harmony and Soul on the weekend?
Yes. Big 3 days.
3 days, that's always big.
Yeah. It's quite tiring, but it's so much fun, and it's such a great environment, and catching up with lots of friends or people that you've met over the years. It's awesome.
Yeah, no. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today or tonight. I really, really do appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been a great honour, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
No worries. And I will see you on Friday.
Yeah. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.